Parker, the biggest news out of Chicago today is something that has got us White Sox fans real giddy, and it's honestly significant for all of baseball because one of the
Mm-hmm.
oldest, most tenured owners in baseball, Jerry Reinsdorf, who owns the White Sox, has reached essentially an investment agreement with Justin Ishbia. And if you don't know the Ishbia name, his brother actually owns the Phoenix Suns and
Mm-hmm.
the women's Phoenix. I'm blinking on their name, but it's the WNBA team in Phoenix. Help me out. I'm not even
I
know what
don't
their name
know.
is.
Let me look.
But as Parker's looking that up, that is a wealthy,
Mercury,
very
Phoenix
rich
Mercury.
family. Boom, Phoenix Mercury. So that family owns those two Phoenix basketball teams, and I'm just gonna say this, Parker. The best thing I can say about this is, it, you know, it's, Jerry Reinsdorf has been a thorn on the side of White Sox fans for 40 years, right? I mean, he
Yeah.
took over the team in 1981, and this is a guy, for people who don't know too much about him, you got to understand. He is as frugal and backwards as they come when it comes to building a team. This is a guy
Mm-hmm.
who, in a changing baseball landscape, has not changed with the times and thinks it's still 1985 and you can run a team that way. It's let's just be honest. I'll be honest. As a White Sox fan, the 2005 World Series was a kind of a, light in a pan sort of World Series. Everyone had a career year, right? It wasn't they were building something. It just kind of
No.
stumbled
Yeah.
upon it. And Jerry
Against a
Reinsdorf
heavily
is,
favored Astros team that was built
yes,
to win right at that moment.
yes. Absolutely. So I don't even want to give Reinsdorf credit for that. And so, as you've seen, as these years have gone by, they've kind of put these White Sox teams together and they've had kind of success here and there. But the problem has always been that he didn't want to invest in the product like other owners do. Now, Parker, the plan is that Ishbia can go ahead and purchase the team over the next several years from Jerry Reinsdorf, and
It's
eventually
almost
it
like
is
a
very
mortgage
likely.
situation.
That's exactly right. Now, here's what I want to actually share. This is pretty significant, and this is what gets me excited about this more than anything. What gets me most excited is when you look at kind of the language and what they're talking about with what they're calling a long-term investment agreement, which
Mm-hmm.
means that Ishbia can actually start taking control as early as 2029 through 2033 at any one of those years. But here's the most important thing. Starting in 2025 and 26, Ishbia will pay down existing debt and support ongoing team operations with capital infusions that will also
Mm-hmm.
come from not only Justin Ishbia, but also from the father, Jeff, and the brother who owns those Phoenix teams, Matt. So for me, Parker, man, I'm so freaking excited. This team is going to get an infusion of cash. Hopefully that means added payroll. I'm not asking them to spend 200 million next year, but like anything, like this is the time where finally it's going to turn around as far as what the White Sox put in this team. I'm fucking pumped.
Yeah, no, you know what's funny is this retroactively justified us going to a Phoenix Suns game when we went the night you flew in to Phoenix when we went down for spring training. But I want to point out, because the Phoenix Suns connection is not nothing. It is emblematic of a way more fan forward, fan centric approach to running a sports franchise. Because what did the Phoenix Suns just do over the last couple years, over the last off season and into the NBA season as it currently stands? They took concessions. They stopped the contracted outsourcing of concessions that we see so prevalent throughout professional sports. And they started selling. What did we eat when we went to the Phoenix Suns game? I ate like 8 hot dogs and spent a grand total like $20 on.
Yes.
They're selling $2 hot dogs. They're selling like $1 sodas, $1 popcorn. They are very, very, very fan centric and fan forward. So it's like, cool. This is the kind of environment I want to be owning a Major League Baseball team, let alone one of my best friends' Major League Baseball teams. Like, this is the type of person that absolutely belongs in the South Side of Chicago. This is a family that I hope becomes way more involved in the operations of the team as a whole. Spend some money, capital investment. You notice that if they're pouring money into this team over the next 5, 6, 7, 40, 50 years, they're going to want that money to go toward success on the field, because all that's going to do is drive up the quality of their investment. This is what we see from owners when they first purchase a team. The ultimate example is, of course, Steve Cohen, but we've seen it when the Red Sox were sold back in the early 2000s. Owners will buy, even a new ownership group will come in, buy the team, and start pouring money in order to drive up the value of their investment. It's a very easy way for them to make paper profits very quickly on an investment in a sports team. And so I'm
Hmm.
really excited to see a reinvestment, a reinvigoration for success for the Chicago White Sox. I hope they keep Chris Getz on board, and I hope that this entire organization sees a radical move towards sustained success and capital infusion immediately upon this deal. At this point, Jerry Reinsdorf's foot is now officially out the door. Like, over the last offseason, we saw
Yes.
him try to sell the team. It didn't really work. Well, now his foot is officially starting to go creep out the door. And I think that now is the time where you're going to start seeing that investment from this new ownership group.
It's very exciting. I've always thought about, what Chicago sports means to Chicago fans, and I'm obviously very biased, but I will come out and say with a valid argument that Chicago is one of the best sports cities in the world. And you think about the history, right? The
Yep.
Bears, charter franchise of the NFL, the Cubs, a charter franchise in the National League, and the White Sox, a charter franchise in the American League. To have the investments in these teams, especially the White Sox, that has been lacking for so many decades, is so deserved for Chicago fans and makes Chicago the sports city that it really is. Finally, finally.
I'm so excited for you, man. That's so freaking cool. That's so cool. And then, like, this is the perfect time, because look at this crop of young guys you got coming up. You've got
Yeah.
Kyle Teal, Braden Montgomery's coming up. Chase Mydroff made his debut. You got some great young arms in your system. Now all you need is for those guys to debut over the next, 2, 3, 4 seasons, right around the time when the HBAs go ahead and fully take over operations of the team and just sign a couple key free agents, and we could see a very successful White Sox team in the near future.